And we're back. Smoke.
Set it off. Set it off.
Here we are, man. Another year. Blessed to be here, my brother.
Yes, we are.
And this time we're back.
Well, now listen. People don't know where we from first, you know what I'm saying? They say, well, we back. They don't even know where we went, first of all, you know what I'm saying?
Where did we go?
Man, we off the radar, you know what I mean? That's what we do, you feel me? We had to go off the radar to bring them the greatest show on earth, you know what I'm saying?
The greatest show on
I don't
earth.
know what the name of that movie was, but whatever the movie was where that dude was off of the grid and he just stayed out there like in the little trailer, you know what I'm saying? But he had all the information.
That's definitely us.
It's got to be the black version, though. You know what I'm saying? We probably be out there playing spades or something like that, or dominoes or something like that, or chess or something
Well,
like that.
you know, me and you, we real parents in this thing, man. So we always with the kids. And the kids take a lot of your time, man. So,
man,
you know, they went on spring break and gave us a break.
They tried to, man, look here. I barely got a break. My daughter, you know, she out there playing soccer out there, man. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
You know, it's getting hard for the people out there playing soccer now, you know.
What's been going on?
What you mean what's been going on? Deportation. That's what's been going on. You know what I'm saying? What you mean what's been going on?
They been trying to deport the kids.
Man, yeah, bro. I was in a Taco Bell or somewhere. I heard somebody was in a Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they was in the Taco Bell, and then they say like the little ICE agents came up in there. You know what I mean? And the ICE agents came up in there. You know, he thought he was finna get locked up because you know he see the police coming there.
At Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell, you feel me? They said they went behind the counter, got like 3 or 4 teenagers, you know what I'm saying, start walking them out of there. Then the dude was like, hold on, man. Y'all ain't just finna walk them out of here like that, man. Y'all ain't even talk to their parents or nothing. Then the dude had a little facial recognition. He said, sir, we got facial recognition. That's how we know that you have a warrant. The dude sat down. He said, well, that's wrong, but y'all ain't gonna just do them like that. And he said, I'm gonna tell somebody. And he told me. So that's why I just told the world, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to put a little humor on it.
Just trying to,
put a little humor, you know what I'm saying? Because for real, ICE, that motherfucker deporting everybody except a European. They deported one European.
Nobody got to go back to
everybody
to Britain.
I guess it's a complexion problem. I guess it's a color. I guess it depends on what color you are.
And I know with y'all playing soccer, I know y'all best players probably got to be from somewhere else.
What? It's some good ones out there. Oh yeah, you better believe that. Yeah, just like we be talking about basketball, goddamn. Yeah.
I saw you post the game, and I saw a lot of parents had on hoodies.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Had on hoodies out there. Everybody had on.
Had their hood on, trying to make sure, you know, if ICE pull up, you know, we ain't got to run.
I told one of my homeboys out there, man, he played on the other team. I ain't seen him in a while. I said, hey, man, look at man, damn all that, man. You know what I'm saying? ICE out here, goddamn it, they patrolling, nigga. You might have to put the Mexican flag down, put the Puerto Rican flag up, dog. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they ain't doing no blood test. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, I would have been like straight up, like, boy, y'all got me fucked up, nigga. I would have been having a mofongo in my pocket, dog. You know what I mean? That's like a.
So what are they going off of when they pull up and
I don't know.
Like, how do they know? Like, how?
I literally.
They like, you got your paperwork on?
I think they just picking out people, bro. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's just saying nothing. At this point now, they finna get somebody that
they say you can report.
Like this. You know what I actually think? I think actually this is just me saying this. I don't know for sure. This is just me saying this.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that eventually they're gonna get somebody, and just because they think that they're speaking Spanish, you know what I'm saying, that they're gonna just deport them. You know what I'm saying? It may be somebody who is Spanish still, but you may just be here, though. You know what I'm saying? It may have always been born here or something like that, and that's what it is. I heard there's a case going on like that right now. Can we fact check that?
Well, somebody got deported just because they were speaking Spanish?
Yeah, but they are citizen of the United States, always been here or something like that. You feel me?
And just because they were like,
it's what Trump sending people to Venezuela. You feel me? They just sent somebody to Venezuela.
Oh, yeah,
they sent somebody to
the Venezuela.
No,
they said
is it El Salvador? What is it?
I think it's
El Salvador, but the person was Venezuela. You feel me? So the situation there, they said
that's the one where they got the worst jail on earth.
And El Salvador?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. He said a lot of truth.
Which jail you think worse, Wright Street or El Salvador?
El Salvador, bro.
They said they got knives in Wright Street.
They got everybody, man. They probably got guns in the hole. Ain't no telling. I'm serious. They say it's any other country like that is definitely, I think they might be rawer than United States prison. I don't know. I'm just saying what I think.
So let me ask you. Now we got
but you relocating people without and you just firing the judges. I heard, you know what I mean. So you ain't even prosecuting.
Well, the judges are the ones that's been stopping everything. So sometimes you got to. I guess he getting rid of who's stopping him.
It looked like a lot of power just coming from out of the White House itself. You know what I'm saying, overriding the local government. You know what I mean? Not even just saying the local. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying anybody else outside the White House seems like they got their own power. They doing their own power thing now. You know?
It's a big power struggle.
Yeah.
So what you think about these tariffs?
The tariffs? Hold on now.
Now I had to do my research on these tariffs.
Tariff. You know where the tariff come from, don't you?
Nah, where did this come from?
What tariff was a black man in Africa? Man, I swear to God, man, this is one of them times where they say you know what I'm saying, black people civilized the Europeans for one of the times right here. You know what I mean? It was about the Moors. The man named is Tariff, and they say he came over like in 710. You know what I'm saying, with a smaller army. You know what I mean? And then in 711. The guy Tariq came over, you know what I'm saying? They came through the Straits of Gibraltar, you know. So I know about the Straits of Gibraltar because I went through that.
This AD?
It's AD time, not BC, AD time. The year 710 was the man named Tariff that came over, you know what I mean, with the Moors. And you might have to Google it, fact check me. You might fact check it probably, you know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be people at the house like, hold on, what are you talking about? That's why the people get in their smartphone. That's why they call it a smartphone. So your dumb ass can look in there with somebody telling you something, you know what I mean? But that's what I heard, you know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm wrong, then I'm finna look like a damn fool right now, you know what I'm saying? And I might, but I ain't never fact-checking myself. I was just talking. You know, I just be talking.
Okay.
But his name is Tariff, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, that would be 710, but then 711, Tariq came over. And the Straits of Gibraltar, that's like the small waterway that you see right between Spain and Africa. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have you ever been through there? I've been through there. I was in the military. I was in the Navy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I went through there that's when I first looked at the world. Like, man, because you can see Africa on one side, you can see Europe on the other side, and you just like, well, damn.
Right.
Maybe it ain't such a big ocean between us like that. You know what I mean? Like, right there at that moment, these people that already been having interactions right now, you know what I mean?
Most people who never left the country don't realize how small and how close everything is.
Like in other countries and other...
Right.
That's bro, is it crazy when you hear somebody, you can let people drive from Spain to Italy and stuff like that, really, you know what I'm saying? So they drive from Spain to France at least, you know what I mean? But I used to hear the stories about Hannibal, you know what I'm saying, going over the Alps and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I used to be thinking it was way longer than it was, but and it still was long, don't get me wrong, but not long as I thought. From here to California is a trek. That's about 3,000 miles right there now.
That's like when I went to Afghanistan, I didn't realize it bordered China. Like China right there. Yeah. Like you think when you think in Afghanistan, like you thinking Middle East.
Yeah. You think that, yeah. It's a real continent, yeah.
So when I Googled tariffs, a news report from NPR says Trump calls tariffs the most beautiful word.
The beautiful word. He's calling. Did it come up anything about the black man?
No, I ain't gonna lie. They didn't white. That might be some history that you got to go to the bookstore and find. Google been kind of getting rid of some stuff lately.
Well, damn. Well, make sure they look at Tariq. Tariq definitely gonna be in there too. Or you check out a book called "When the Moors Ruled Spain" by Stanley Lane
When the Moors Ruled Spain.
Yeah, a man named Stanley Lane Poole wrote that book right there. You may find it in there. You know what I mean? So,
but why do you think Trump is so obsessed with the tariffs? I
heard he took the tariffs back though.
Tariffs and DEI, like that's like all you hear about. They say this is a DEI podcast.
What? This is a DEI podcast? They already classified this? How can this be classified? We just started this. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Say this is DEI.
I guess it's impossible for us to control our thing. I think the tariffs sound good for a person that don't know it, but everybody that I heard that are financial gurus and people who actually know about
it hurts us in the
trade. Everybody keeps saying this will hurt you right here, right. And as we can see now, they're saying, "Oh, the tariffs are not here. We were just playing. We were just, you know,
right?
Like
Friday.
You playing?
Yeah.
I can only go for the movies now. Like, name somebody else in the hood who play like that.
Yeah.
Who play like that? You know what I'm saying? What'd he say?
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Friday, he literally reneged on the tariffs like in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, he might be playing, but other people not playing. They already made preparations. I mean, man.
China looking like, man, stop playing with us, dog.
Man, hey, man, China. I heard they
China looking like, man, y'all stop playing with us for real. That's what China looking like. What y'all want to make all them t-shirts y'all sell? Nigga, keep playing.
Man, I remember a little trade thing that happened a while ago with China. A man named Eugene Chen, I think. He suggested what China do because this is all about being. You can be improvisable or improvisable. You know what I mean? I don't even know if that's a real word. You know what I'm saying? How I'm saying it. You know what I mean? But I'm really trying to say like a new way of thinking that comes into trade that nobody has thought about. And
Right.
I heard that, and Eugene Chen was a black man too, by the mistake, half black, but he was black still. But he was the one that suggested that China use their native language on the boats and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the flags and stuff like that, and instead of the number, they were using their native language, so that now, if you weren't Asian, you're almost going to be confused on what's going where now. You know what I mean? Because we're controlling that. But
So it's by design.
Oh man, yeah.
Right.
But that was a good tactic right there, really. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know what I'm saying, them being able to control things, I guess. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just here for who controls it. You know.
That's what it's all about. I think control.
It's
a big control
But
battle.
you can't do old tactics though, dog, with a new world now. You know what I mean? That's just like even with the battlefield now. You can't think you can move in the battlefield like that. It's drone planes now.
Yeah.
Everybody got a drone plane now. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody can see you now. So instead of people coming to you now and you get a very rapid response about what's going on. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what's going on,
You're gonna find
be at
out
a
in real
disadvantage.
time.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I think happened with Trump Friday. I think he seen like, look, if I do this, it's gonna make the stock market go down tremendously. And then he said, you know what? I'm gonna renege on that. And then you see the stock market shot up.
Don't say renege now. You saying renege now. Because Trump say renege ain't gonna be something, guys. He gonna be like renege. And then I didn't say renege. I'm like, hold on, goddamn Trump.
I didn't say it with the ER. I only said it how Justin said it. Renege.
One thing about Trump, though, you know what I mean? Like, everybody keep talking about what he's doing now. Is what he was doing in the beginning more crazy when he was the president the first time?
I think it's just what he say.
And he's going for a third and fourth. You feel me?
But let me third and fourth is crazy.
He going for it. You know what I mean?
He literally had people storm the Capitol building.
He had them do it, or they did it on their own will, and they said, Trump made me do it.
You right.
No.
You right.
No, he probably said, get in there.
He didn't. He kind of provoked it.
Yeah, he provoked. He's still incited.
It's kind of like back in the day in school when everybody fight. You be like, hit that hoe, like you know, like I ain't make them fight, but shit, you know, you got there threw something out there,
Man.
But you know,
But
man.
I remember. Do you remember before he got elected and the choices on the ballot? Remember, you can only vote for like 3 people. You could either vote for Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump. Who else? These nuts. You remember that?
Oh, these
They
nuts.
put these nuts on the
These nuts
ballot.
was about to-
Nigga, I thought it was Caitlyn Jenner. I thought it was Brew Jenner. I ain't know what was going on right there. I said they got. I started looking at the Wheaties boxes. I said they finna get a campaign going strong
And
right now.
it was so messed up that these nuts had a chance.
These nuts had a chance, but it turned up to be somebody else. You feel me?
Yeah.
Got him, and they got him. You know what I'm saying? But you remember they asked Trump why since he wanted to be the president, what do you think qualifies him to be the president? So they asked him sort of what's going on right now.
Right.
Right now, if he's the leader of the new world, he's the leader of this United States right now, he's in charge of the military. So they asked him his first presidency, where did you get your military knowledge from? And Donald Trump said he get his military knowledge from watching movies. That's exactly what he said. Go back and fact check it if you want. He said he get his military knowledge from watching movies. Fast forward, the first press conference. Somebody said, Trump, how do you plan on defeating ISIS? And Donald Trump said, how am I going to defeat ISIS? First of all, we have some of the best pilots in the United States Navy. I said, what the fuck? He said, we're going to call Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Angels.
watched Top Gun. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, Maverick will be pissed because Goose just died. Am I right? You know? Then I started looking a little closer because at every press conference with Trump, it's always some black people that don't nobody else black know, right or wrong.
They just get some random.
They asking questions. No, they ask the same question. Trump, how can the African Americans help against the fight against ISIS? This one I knew Trump lost his mind. He said, the African Americans are going to lead the fight against ISIS. I already told you about the pilots that we have in the United States Navy. We also happen to have pilots in the United States Army. I said, what? They happen to be black. They're down in Alabama, in Tuskegee. You may know them as red tails. And I'll tell you another thing. Even though some of those guys had syphilis, they were damn good pilots in World War II. I said, hold the fuck on, Trump. Did this man just mix the Tuskegee Airmen with the Tuskegee experiment and ain't nobody say nothing? Nobody said nothing on the news. But go ahead.
You know, I think what you saying.
Shout out to Tuskegee. One of my cousins was there.
Shout out to Tuskegee, man. Shout out.
Yeah.
You know.
They tried to erase them too.
They gonna try to erase them, I'm sure.
Yeah, how you going if you gonna erase the Tuskegee Airmen, then erase what they did then you don't need to celebrate what they did then. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, if the Tuskegee Airmen fought for something, then you need to leave it alone. You feel me? If it weren't for Tuskegee Airmen, y'all wouldn't even have that jazz like you have. You feel me? When that black soldiers that put jazz out here to the world.
Yeah. Brought a lot of stuff to the world.
That's the only time white people were dancing before Dancing with the Stars. You know what I'm saying? Took a hiatus after that.
Do you think like right now in the world with just, even when you look at our president and just technology and how, do you think everybody's delusional now?
No.
Do you think it's just straight delusion?
No, people are not delusional. People are...
They can't be in reality, dog.
Yeah, they're following a power system because one thing in reality is fear, right?
Right.
And fear controls people. Now, the classic, with the whip, like they got on Cracker Barrel on that K. Yeah? Am I lying?
You ain't lying.
Bitch ass nigga. Yeah, but anyway.
Cracker Barrel been getting away with a lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Did you know you heard they made a new statement?
What is it?
Cracker Barrel said, we know it's a lot of racism and prejudice going on in the United States with black people, but we appreciate that business that y'all niggas been bringing us. I said, man, I couldn't believe
Cracker
it, man.
Barrel been bold.
Yeah, man, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, Cracker Barrel was the first restaurant I went to that had that turkey bacon, though.
Turkey bacon?
They had turkey bacon. They don't nobody be having that. Back then, ain't nobody had no turkey bacon.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Justin. I come from real bacon, man. You know what I'm saying?
You still on that porch,
man? What you mean still on the porch? I stopped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that's where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Because if we ain't had a little pork, we wouldn't have had nothing. We had them little hogs around there, man. You feel me? You know what it is?
I can still smell my grandma bacon, man.
Dog, you remember killing a hog? Did you ever see anybody kill a hog?
I seen one in the pit and down there in Sugar Lock, Mississippi.
What? Where we used to kill? I see some hogs get killed in Sugar Lock too. Down there Macon too, you feel me? Like when you kill a hog down there, it's a big celebration. Everybody come out, you know what I'm saying, when you killing the hog, you feel me? And then you see the little witch pot, you know what I'm saying? They bring the tires out, you feel me? They boiling up the pot, you know what I'm saying, with the tires. You know, the tires burn almost 24 hours, you know what I mean?
Right.
Then you throw the hog up in there, you know what I'm saying? And the hog get hot or whatever, then you can shave the hair off or whatever. Hang them up by the Achilles tendon, you know what I mean? I ain't even know what Achilles tendon was.
So you still on that pork?
Nah.
You ain't eating
I'm just trying to be descriptive. I just, you know.
You just trying to remind them of a time when we could eat that pork.
Yeah, I remember the time we couldn't eat nothing but that, really.
And you know what our grandparents was healthy as...
Because they had them greens and the sweet potatoes canceling it out, them yams.
Right,
we was eating real yams and real sweet potato things. I don't know, that might be a little too deep, you know what I'm saying? But
what's that?
They say black people didn't have no starch diet. I went out to the Bahamas one time. I was in the Bahamas, and this dude said the slaves out there in the Bahamas, they protested breadfruit. And I was just like, okay, what that mean? I mean, he was very, very informative because he was telling me about people like Eric Holder and Shirley Chisholm. They from Barbados, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean, just proud of the heritage or whatever. But I was like, why are you telling me about the slave protesting breadfruit for 15 years? He said, because when they protested the breadfruit, that was going to be the testament forever to show us that we didn't even have a starch diet, you know what I'm saying? They put us on a starch diet, you know what I'm saying, during slavery, I guess, or something like that, you know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, I ain't even never think about that. You never think about the difference between corn and maize and stuff like that. That's simple, right? You know what I mean?
You know, I just had went to a restaurant and I had got the wing combo, but I got the rice. And I noticed how they had put so much rice on my plate. It was like heavy. And I'm like, why they got so much? That's why they got so much rice to give it. So that if they could throw that much rice on my plate, imagine how much rice they just got, you know, to get rid of, you know. Because when you get wings and fries, they don't give you that many fries, you know. So I'm like, dang, why they loading me up with rice like this?
Man, that rice is plentiful. I heard they got fake rice out here too.
They probably
fake rice.
They got a lot of genetic modified foods now. That's a big thing. Now, Smoke, me and you, healthy. You know, we real into the health thing, you know.
Trying to be.
Working out.
Shout out to Dick Gregory.
Shout out to Dick Gregory.
And Alvinia Forte.
You know, I was watching the old house party, the first house party. And
that's the real one.
And they kept saying in the movie, what's the comedian now? I forgot his name. Rest in peace.
Harris.
Robert Harris said,
man.
He said, pour me a glass of that Dick Gregory.
Pour me a glass of that Dick Gregory. Because you know Dick Gregory was on this healthy thing, like, literally.
Wait, was that? I thought they were talking about Kool-Aid. Now that what I thought they were talking about.
No. His name was Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? The boy name. He said Kool-Aid.
Right.
Go fix me some of that Dick Gregory. And I think he was making Kool-Aid too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So basically, that was the That was the point of the movie where everybody was saying
So
can
is
see
Dick Gregory
we're
Kool-Aid?
making the choice. No,
Okay.
It was Dick Gregory drink. It was a juice, and Dick Gregory was promoting juicing. I follow his son.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out to
so
Christian.
in the movie House Party, when they say pour me a glass of that Dick Gregory, they not talking about Kool-Aid.
They're not talking about Kool-Aid. It just so happened that the little boy was pouring Kool-Aid, and you can see how much sugar he pouring in it like that. And then the dude was watching the TV, I think, you feel me, about health, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what brings us to this
So
point.
it was like a message.
You know, yes, you know what's so crazy? And it's a mess. You know, that shout out to the greatest show on earth because this show's something very, very serious, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's spiritual. Remember the day I called you and I said, man, I met this dude from Chicago. Shout out to Miss Lavinia Fulton.
Right.
She was the person that put Dick Gregory on to being healthy. And she was like the first Dr. Sabi. We talking 1940s, 1950s in Chicago, maybe 1930s, you know what I'm saying? But everybody came to her funeral, Harry Belafonte. I met her grandson, you know what I'm saying? In the barbershop. Remember I told you that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was just like, man, why am I meeting this dude? Because he was like, man, you know what? You remind me of Dick Gregory, man. I was like, man, I met Dick Gregory, boy. And just like what I just told you, I met Dick Gregory right down there. You know what I'm saying?
Right down the
when you
street
was passing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, dog, you know what I mean?
It's his story.
Met him, him and Alton Maddox. Shout out to them, man, the master teachers. You know, everything is spiritual, man.
And that's what I want a lot of people to know. You know, the knowledge is prevalent these days. A lot of people making money off of the knowledge, but the knowledge been here.
Yes.
It's been here. And it's not been for sale neither. It's just out of love for your people, dog. That's why you're supposed to spread the knowledge.
I be reading about older people, man, that be learning about knowledge, man, especially that Black history, man. Like even that lady Zora Neale Hurston, man. I read about her, man. She was really into anthropology. I saw a special on her, man. She was like with some of the first people that was dealing with anthropology, but she was definitely, I'm talking about into our culture for real, though. I mean, like going down, staying with Black folks in the voodoo culture, you know what I'm saying? She doing like the voodoo rituals.
Like healing or?
What? No, she really got into like wherever they was doing voodoo somewhere, like down in Florida somewhere.
But like, what was the purpose of doing the voodoo? Was
because
it for
it's
healing?
a study. It's the study of the psychic of Black people, you know what I'm saying? She was dispelling the bullshit lies about Black people are inferior, you know what I'm saying, the way people or whatever. So I guess this would be considered in the study. She was getting funded from some folks, you know what I mean? Then the funding stopped eventually, but she was more than what I thought. When I read her, you know, they pass us off as short stories, right?
Right.
And she was with a dude named, shout out to Richard Wright, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's a famous author too. But during her time, she was with him down in Florida. I read a story about them going back up to New York with the Harlem Renaissance. So they would have other intellectuals that's tied in together, you feel me?
Right.
But in reality, our reality, they pass our intellectuals off as short stories. When in actual fact, ain't no short stories even short. These books are 300 pages, 280 pages. You read
Just
Native Son, Black Boy, I had to read those books, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe they older books or whatever, I guess, but shit, you know what I mean? That's what we had to read. But that's what I'm realizing how smart our people is for real still, you know what I mean?
And you know what? I know what you smoke, you big on respecting the elders and learning from the elders. Yeah. And so yesterday I was in JJ's and I was talking to an older guy. He was waiting on some fish. He was waiting on some fish and they was taking kind of long on it. And I said, that's how you stay looking so young, man? He said, look, man, I just turned 76 the other day. I can tell you was proud.
Did he look 76?
Nah, he looked young, man. He looked good, slim.
Yeah.
Eyes still bright. And I say, he said, I've been married 59 years, something like that.
I thought you were going to say 59 times. I was going to be like,
he said, I've been married 59 years. So I looked at him, I looked him in his eyes. I said, what's the secret? What's the secret to living so long? And he said, I could tell he was in deep thought. He said, man, don't argue with nobody. He said, just tell him you right.
Ooh.
He said, just tell him. Like his eyes got big, so I could tell like he really meant it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But man, all y'all young folks out there, you can learn from your elders,
don't argue with nobody. You can argue about it later with somebody else if you want. Right, you know what I'm saying? But don't argue with nobody.
Because most people committed to their misunderstanding of things.
Some people I'll tell you, somebody told me one time, about being ignorant, you know what I'm saying? And at first I was just like, man, yeah, you ignorant, man. I said, who ignorant? Nigga? You, nigga? You know what I'm saying? He was like, see, look at you. You ignorant because I told you ignorant. You know what ignorant means? Ignorant means you don't know. And I was just like, damn. But it was just that quick, though, you know what I'm saying? As much as I call myself reading and thinking about the world and stuff like that, that instant right there, I was like, well, man, how many other people don't even get to get to the point of, no, nigga, you call me ignorant, nigga, so that's what it was, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's a sign of intelligence. I think it was Aristotle or Socrates, one of them.
Oh, Lord,
the
them goddamn Greeks.
Hey, man, you
I'm
know.
so tired of these damn Greek people.
When you in school, that's who you learn about.
Man, who they learn from? That's what I want to know.
You know who they learn from.
You talking about Aristotle, Plato?
Somebody, one of them guys.
Socrates.
But he said he realized that he was the wisest man because he realized that he knew nothing.
Woo! But did he hear that from somewhere else, though?
He might have heard it
Because that sound like some...
He might have
heard
heard
it. That sound like just no Romans. That sound like what an African say, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I heard...
That kind of humility and... what's the word for it that they use when you humble that humbleness? That's definitely some, you know.
There is something I'm not down the word.
The humility of that.
I ain't gonna even doubt the word, but I know I've been to Greece. You been to Greece? You ever been to Greece?
No.
You ain't been to Greece, man. You lying? Look, I use Greece. You know what I'm saying? Brush my hair. I watch Greece 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Cool rider, and I've been to Greece. You know what I mean? But Greece, man, shit, they had some history too, man. You know what I mean? When you look at them movies with Brad Pitt, you know what I'm saying? He called himself Achilles.
Right.
Ain't that supposed
but
to be
what was
like,
on with Denzel was just in? Was that the Gladiator 2?
Gladiator 2. You see what I'm talking about?
Right.
Set it off. Now, them Romans really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the Greeks and the Romans, they're a little bit different, you know what I mean? But I guess...
I like how they put a black man as a
Denzel.
Roman. Yeah.
Man,
because if you look at the history, they say it was common to see black people in Rome. But when you look at Hollywood,
did you know some people was ruling Rome too?
Yeah,
it was some black people ruling Rome. Matter of fact, now I don't know about Denzel character as much. You know what I'm saying? I got to go read some more on him. But I do know about those guys, the boys that was
the emperors,
Geta and Caracalla. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
they say they were really black.
They were mixed, at least, you know what I'm saying? They daddy man named Septimius Severus. That was his name. He was a ruler. And he used to be up under your boy Marcus Aurelius. You feel me? So if they always pride everybody else, if you ever watch Gladiator 1 and you always looked at Marcus Aurelius, they always put his emphasis on their name. Check out Septimius Severus.
You know, I'm in school, and when you in school, you got to learn so much about the Greeks. And when you think about school, even with the fraternities, what are they? They're Greek fraternity. Yeah. So with the Greek... knowledge is like why are we so obsessed with the Greeks and not instead of over the Africans?
I think they're obsessed with the Greeks because that's where white folks start their history at. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's where they start their advancement at.
And it seems like the Greeks stole from the Africans.
Yeah, not just stole from them. They used to learn from them. You know what I'm saying? That's
Copy
why I
and
say
paste.
with the difference. Yeah,
right.
Copy and paste, but still almost. I don't want to say respectful because if you're respectful, you wouldn't be doing it like that. Ooh. But definitely not destroying it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Trying to be like and destroying is two different things, though. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to make no excuses for it, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes when you trying to be like something, you end up doing something that's godly. You know what I mean? Meaning, just because you didn't destroy it, you tried to be like it. You still kept it there. You know what I'm saying? So we got the remnants of it. You feel me?
Right. So they say imitation is the biggest form of flattery. Yeah.
Man, damn all that, because people have stole my jokes before and I wasn't flattered. God damn it.
Let's talk about that.
Hey,
Let's talk about that.
It's black Greeks too, man.
Let's talk about that. Why don't people... why do you think that so many people aren't able to come up with their own thoughts?
I think it's a creative thing, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe when I was in the military and stuff, like I say, I got disassociated from most things that everybody else is associated with more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the games and stuff like that, even video games and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like something happened with the sports, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I'm biggest sports fan, you know what I'm saying? But something happened. You know I be in the military.
I feel like you think
anybody
like
looking at this in the military, you know, when you're in the military, something got taken away from us that we used to do all the time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't care how small it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's fishing. Maybe it's running. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's you know what I'm saying, going somewhere. You know what I mean? But it's something that changed. You know what I'm saying, that we don't have. You know what I mean? That's a story that I hear.
Well, you know, I was in the Army too, and from my understanding, they're supposed to take away like your individuality. You're supposed to come with the group. You gotta blend in with the group. You gotta blend in. Yeah.
That's why they get mad at you. Know
you
what?
Gotta buy in. You can't be an individual. They tell you can't be an individual here. It's not about individualism in the military.
Okay.
Because you gotta move as a group.
Yeah, and you can move as a group. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be disruptive, but when we get to being too uniform and not having no opinion, that's right. Right now, we listening to the people who can't run a mile, give orders out here to other people who are well equipped to handle whatever situation they come in contact with and
Can't
know
run
the
a
people.
mile.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, what do you think the link is between physical fitness and mental fitness?
What's the link in it?
Yeah.
The link in it got to be your brain activity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Working out in your muscles, getting all the way to a spiritual point, though. You know what I'm saying? Once you get to that spiritual point, sometimes you can probably get to a point where you're not even, because you get to a point where you're not physical anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
I only say that because if you're running, sometimes you be running just, damn. You know what I'm saying? You might have ran like 3-4 miles, you know what I'm saying, already, goddamn it, and then just be like, man, out of nowhere, just get energy. Run a whole nother mile, you know what I'm saying? You already knowing you tired as hell already, but then that energy come from somewhere because your brain, the military used to do that, you know what I'm saying? Remember they had us running in units? Yeah. When you run it calls you
the physical strength builds your mental. Definitely. It's definitely a direct correlation.
But does it get to a spiritual point, though? You know what I'm saying? It's the thing that nobody sees.
Definitely.
We can see the mental.
That's just
we can see the physical, you know what I'm saying, all day. But can you see the spiritual? You know what I'm saying? You can see the mental a little bit for how somebody work out as far as their intensity a little bit, you know what I mean? But
that's just like Mike Tyson said that boxing was, they say it was 85% mental, 15% physical, you know, but like he said most of it was, he said it was spiritual. I'm sorry. He said it was like it was 85% spiritual and the rest was just, you know, but if you ever if you ever been in a boxing ring or if you ever, just when you running, you realize it's like you get to a point where the spiritual part just take over when you just tired and you done. Like think about this. It's so many physical specimens in sports, but it's only certain ones who we are called GOATs. You know, who greater than it's like Kobe with that Mamba mentality. That's spiritual.
Do we call Kobe GOATs though because they reached the highest accolade right then? Like he reached the NBA Finals or these other people reached the Super Bowl. Is there any GOATs that didn't reach the accolades? You feel me?
Yeah, it's definitely some.
Like who? Like in basketball.
But when we watched them play, we could see that spiritual warrior coming out of them. Yes. Like Kobe, you can see when they down, you can just see them just rev up and just something take over their brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely some spiritual there that you can see.
But then again, you can run the whole clip of what's been going on in the Sweet 16 all the way down to the Final Four and see plenty of games with people with that same intensity, right?
I say Flagey. You can see the spiritual warrior with her. Like she's not the biggest girl, you know. Yeah. She's not the strongest. Yeah. But when it's clutch time, she coming through. You know.
Yeah, but Flagey got something right with her still that we know is spiritual too, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Flagey, man. Shout out to Camouflage, man.
I love the LSU team, man. I miss Angel Reese and Von Liv. I
like all of them. What's the girl that just got hurt? Juju.
I love them. Yeah,
man. Shout out to her, man.
Shout out to women's sports in general. What?
Yeah.
Have we been seeing?
Play.
Yeah, okay.
All my sisters played basketball. Like they played basketball before the WNBA, you know what I'm saying, was there. They went to like the Junior Olympics and the Olympics and all that stuff.
Where they play?
Basketball.
No, where?
Alabama. You feel me?
What city?
This Aliceville, Alabama.
Right. And it's crazy. You know what's crazy?
My grandma, I'm talking like they know us. Aliceville, Alabama. Shout out to Aliceville, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my sisters. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what?
Jackie, Tracy, Linda, Charlotte, and Jana and Nugget too.
It's crazy because my grandma played though.
Your grandma played where?
Aliceville.
You a lie. You a damn lie. Get out of here.
Man, it's crazy. My auntie, she said, you know, your grandma used to play. Because my grandma loved sports. Now we used to wonder why. And so your grandma played basketball when she was in Aliceville. I said, I can't even.
Get out of here.
When you think of your grandma, you think of them in their older
sweet older lady. Yeah,
but I can't just imagine her just moving the ball down the court. It's crazy. Yeah, just even thinking about it.
Man, my folks athletic though, bro. You know what I'm saying? You think they athletic for them fields being out there, them cotton fields like that? You think?
We were bred like this.
Just bred, yeah. You hear about a lot of baseball players down there too.
Look at how Bo Jackson built. Look how LeBron built. Look how Michael Jordan built. Man, these guys built. Well, you know that they took during slavery, they took the strongest man and the strongest woman, made them mate. You know.
Yeah.
And you could definitely see it in the sports. I see they were talking about bringing segregation back. Somebody said segregate them sports. Let's see.
Segregate them sports. Who gonna go see them? Man, basketball gonna be looking. Ain't gonna be no shoe deal. All them shoe deals gonna turn to shoelace deals.
Now, when we talk about sports,
That's what it was first. It was segregated at first, right?
well, yeah, Negro leagues, man.
Negro League. Shout out, man. Boy.
Baseball season. Let's talk about the Negro leagues, man.
Hey, do we have? You know what Hank Aaron would say right now if he was alive?
What's that?
Hank Aaron would say, "God damn it, we so good they took us out the league."
Yeah.
God damn it. It was more goddamn people got them the first couple of years when Hank Aaron was in than there now. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. It's down there like, what? Can you check the statistic? You know what I'm saying? We can't just be out here yelling out numbers. We sound like Trump with the tariff. I see what it is. You know what I mean?
On what?
Because the baseball numbers. What's the percentage of African Americans?
Let's see.
Of black people. We so divided. We can't even just find the one word that we all are. Really. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Caribbean brothers. You know what I mean? Now we all connected when we get to our ancient ancestors before these tags come up. You feel me? Either you Arawak, Carib, Taino. You know what I'm saying? Inca, Mayan.
It says 6% of players on opening day rosters. Damn.
6%? It was 8% 2 years ago.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. 7.2.
7.2. You hear that shit? Shit sound like a. If you put a 6 in front of the 2, it sound like a bullet.
And we know these little black boys can play baseball. What's going on, Smoke? What's going on?
You mean what's going on? They breeding up. What you mean? They breeding up out of the baseball.
I think they just not giving them a fair shot.
Man. Are the schools involved in it too? You know what I'm saying, with the programs?
I think
are we involved
in the black
it too?
community, we don't put as much into baseball as others do. Because they done made baseball a money sport now.
Man.
Travel ball, $2,500. You know, everybody ain't got that.
Ooh, yeah, it costs a lot. You damn near got to be an NFL player to get your kids going to the little.
The money you will spend on your child playing baseball, you better just better save that up and shit. Just put them through college with that. Yeah.
They say all that money you spending in baseball, you better well get you a private lesson with Bo Jackson.
You might as well just keep that money and start you a business or something.
I don't know why it's like that though, but it definitely has become a thing. And they just did a whole thing with the Negro Leagues, right? For the whole world. They played a game down in Birmingham. You feel me? And Jesse came out there was Reggie Jackson came out there, let it be known. They must thought Reggie was just gonna be playing with him. Reggie came out there and said, hey man, they treated us like we dogs out here, man.
Yeah, I seen that.
Man, he went straight back to that racism in it because that's where it stems from, though. You know what I mean?
And that's why it's so important to get these stories from our elders, man. Because these white folks are trying to make you think that shit was so long ago and it wasn't.
They're trying to erase history now, right?
Right. Yeah,
the Smithsonian.
Shoot, Trump, them administrators, they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education and get rid of the history.
I heard it's already gone. And the CDC gone. Now, hold on now. What they going to do with the STDs?
Y'all better be careful.
That's all I'm saying.
You better be careful.
What you gonna do with the CDC go with the STD?
You just gonna have to thug it out.
What you gonna? They gonna mess around and stop making condoms. Y'all niggas gonna be around here with activators and balloons trying to scrap your dick up. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to put nobody business out here.
Let me ask you, what's up with the deal with abortions? Are they? Because I know mostly Republicans be anti-abortion, so I'm sure.
I don't know what I don't even get on the Democrat-Republican thing no more. Yeah. I just say white folks, because black folks ain't making no laws out here as far as I can see. We supposed to be working towards it, you know what I'm saying? But as far as what the power structure is, ain't nobody said, God damn. Where is the diversity for real?
Well, let's talk about your boy Kanye. Your boy Kanye done went full black Ku Klux Klansman on them.
Man, I don't know. Was that the Ku Klux Klan road?
KKK road.
Hold on. Now, I went to Spain before, and April 4th is when Spain, they do some type of thing over there. Santa Semana or something. I forget the name of it, but they do something where a lot of those people dress up in robes. You got to pull it up right quick. You know what I'm saying? Put up black robes. Black robe, Ku Klux Klan. Look like Ku Klux Klan in Spain.
Black robe, Spain.
Yeah, Spain celebration.
Let me see.
Black KKK rose Spain celebration. Because that's what I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in Spain while this going on. I said, bitch, you going to jail.
It's called capirote.
Capirote. Okay,
so maybe my boy...
You ain't got to show me that. Google it at the house.
Maybe my boy Kanye was on his capirote stuff. I don't know.
Well, anyway, it looked like what Kanye was looking like. Now, I don't know if that is exactly what Kanye doing, because I don't like to be one of them people that
he
be
might
like,
not even
see
know
what he's saying is.
Yeah.
But I just know when he took that robe off, he handed it to the little white lady. He said, yeah, this was how I get right here. I said, who the fuck? Do she know? Do you know about Capoeira? I thought it was Capoeira. That's what it sounded like.
Kanye, I know you probably going to watch this, dog.
Shout out to you.
Is it a capirote
whatever they let the people know, because they trying to call you a Ku Klux Klan. We know you ain't no Ku Klux Klanman. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Kanye, he said he put...
They ain't going to let your ass in. That's how I know you ain't. Go ahead.
Well, with Kanye, he put out a new album and he said he used AI to record a lot of the songs.
Is AI prejudice?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you. I'm not calling you.
You know, AI.
I had to apologize to that little laptop right there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, be careful now.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm so careful.
I got AI at the house. It locked my door and turned my temperature up.
You got one of those smart houses?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
When you come in the door, it be like, "Welcome home."
No.
Like, oh, shit. I be like, what if it want to not let me leave one day?
See, that's what I'm scared of, man. Y'all, we living in a real life. Can we put the screen up right now, like while we doing our thing? You know what I'm saying? To be like Demolition Man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put a clip up right now, Demolition Man, right now. You know what I mean? This is what it's like when he walk in his house. You know, when Wesley walk in, he say, "Illuminate, deluminate."
Man, this stuff is starting to really look like a movie, dog. You know what I'm saying? With all the technology.
Is it looking like a movie or was the movie?
We got Cybertrucks.
And where do Cybertrucks get their power from?
What is this? I don't know.
You know Cybertrucks get their power from?
They charge them up.
No. I think electrical vehicles, you sure they're not on the same ramifications of like tablets and phones and stuff like that? So we would say we get down to some of these rare minerals should be cobalt. I think it's cobalt.
Right.
I think cobalt is what it actually goes down to. Cobalt. And cobalt is found in the Congo. You know what I mean? In Congo, that's in Africa. You feel me? And shout out to rest in peace to Patrice Lumumba. But when I talk about the Congo, I always mention his name. But the coltan reserves are what they call, I think. Right. It's called cobalt. Right. So it'd be the equivalent to what we see as vibranium in the Black Panther movie. But these things power everything. You feel me?
Right.
So whoever mines it will eventually have the power of the world. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
don't know who over there mining right now, but I know China over there right now?
China over there right now.
Man, I know who finna go over there. I think that's what all this is going to. Whoever gets that is going to be
the control,
reign supreme. You know what I'm saying? Why?
The coltan.
For some reason, and it may be other places too in the world. You know what I'm saying? But the highest percentage of it is in the Congo. And right now, they destabilized over there right now. The people is like in a civil war, if I'm not mistaken. Right. You know what I mean? It looks a little wild over there right now, and I think it's gonna be looking wild enough, right?
Well, I saw on CNN Friday, China said they ready to go at it. You know?
No, hold on, baby. Wait a minute.
I don't know, but it was CNN. No, you can't.
Everybody ain't ready.
Trump,
Let me get my hold on. Let me get my settlement. Shit. Man, because I've been waiting on mine.
They said bring smoke back to the Navy. Man,
I went hey, we know what it was.
They said you were one of the best.
Man, the best what? Best runners? Shit, I was about
They said they see you running them 6 miles. They said who else? But Chris said it out, Jones.
Man, look here, man. I had to get up out of there, man. I felt defenseless now. You know what I mean? I saw shout out, rest in peace, man, to the Navy SEAL, man.
What happened to him?
That just on the ship with me? Well, rest in peace to Stephen Voigt.
Right.
First of all, he was on the ship with me.
Okay.
He was a Navy SEAL. But there was a helicopter accident. And it was I was on an aircraft carrier on the USS Enterprise. Mm-hmm. Something happened where they were going out, you know what I'm saying, the whole SEAL team. And when they were going out, the helicopter started malfunctioning. When the helicopter started malfunctioning, like it started turning, and then you could see it, you know what I'm saying, like fluttering to the side, and then the dude,
mechanical issue.
Yeah, you see somebody try to jump out, you know what I mean, and other people just in the water right there, and then other ships and stuff, people came to try to save the people right there, but the Voight ended up passing away, you know what I mean, and got his body chopped in half, I think, too. But this is SEAL Team 8. If I'm not mistaken.
It's crazy, man. You kind of live parallel lives because when I was in Afghanistan, I was on the...
Shout out to everybody on the USS Enterprise at that time then.
Shout out. I guess what year was this?
This is... should I say the year right now? No.
Yeah,
because I got that thing.
Oh, yeah. But, I was in...
Rest in peace there. But I only said that because there's a Navy SEAL that just passed away with the company at Siemens. It was a guy at Siemens.
He died in combat?
No, he died as a helicopter ride. He was doing a helicopter ride. I don't know if he was a helicopter pilot as a SEAL, but I know he was this just happened like 2 days ago. There was a major CEO that had a helicopter crash, him and his family, and the guy that was was the helicopter
was a
pilot was a
SEAL.
black guy. He was a Navy SEAL. You know what I mean? I think he's from Chicago, man. You know what I mean? But that's why I was saying. I jumped up this morning when I saw it on the news. I was just like, I was just finna run this morning. You know what I'm saying? Just to run it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, let me run 5. Then I was gonna be like, no, let me just run 4. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just 4 or whatever. You know what I mean? But then I was just getting ready and stuff like that. But I thought that was crazy that we talk about that with
Because you
Stephen
feel
Voigt right now.
compassion for your Navy, your fellow Navy seamen,
that
your
is?
brothers. I'm like your, it's like your fraternity.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's that sense of you, like it's like me. If I meet somebody else who was in the Army, we gonna relate off top. Just
Okay. That be that when all the Army guys together. Hey man, come here, man. We're here with these motherfucking Air Force motherfuckers. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah.
But
When
we talk about the military, we talk about mental health. That's a big thing these days. PTSD, post traumatic stress.
Yeah.
And
so they got classes for that too, right?
What?
PTSD. They got PTSD classes, or the PTSD is like something that the veterans have to just deal with themselves.
I mean, they got you got your counselors, your therapists, but I'm starting to think therapy a racket too, man. I'm starting to think psychologists and therapy. I think it's a racket, man. Ooh. I see somebody they asked the therapist, they said name some people who you fixed. Like they can't even name nobody, who they really didn't cure. That's almost like cancer.
You know what that reminds me of? That's like marriage counselors, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because me and my wife went to a little marriage counseling one time, you know what I'm saying? And then when we went to the marriage counselor the first time, you know what I mean, I forgot about the second appointment, you know what I'm saying? She was just like, let's go. I said, where we going? That we got another appointment. I said, what? What you talking about? We got all the way to the appointment. The lady was like, hey, so what's going on? I heard you almost forgot about the appointment today. I said, bitch, I thought we were fixed. I thought you did your job.
They make money off the problem. They make money out the problem. They make money out the problem.
You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, think about it.
If you ever going through marriage counseling, make sure the marriage counselor is married too. You know what I'm saying? Because there be single people doing marriage counseling. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Ain't that something like that?
That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit.
Well, that what happened with me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, I'm just.
So
you said, don't worry about it.
My whole thing is the therapists. How can they make money if everybody fixed? If everybody. Like, that's just like your marriage counselor. If y'all don't come back for the second...
Man, you ain't got to put my business out there like that, dog. What you mean? My marriage counselor.
You just told
Hey, man, go ahead, man. All right, go ahead.
You said you had to go 2 times.
All right, well, go ahead. It was more than that, but I'm just saying. Hey, bro, all right, go ahead, though. Go ahead, make your point. What's your point? Your point?
I mean, think about it. Like you said, you just needed one time and you were good.
That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? That's how good the counseling be. Obviously, you wasn't a good counselor. You know what I'm saying?
The marriage counselor said she need her money on, so y'all got to come back.
She got it.
She said y'all need to come back.
She got that money on.
She said y'all need to come back a second, third, fourth, fifth,
and she ain't done yet.
But
I didn't know that therapy it may be a good thing. I've been dealing with it myself really. You know what I'm saying? And we've been talking. I ain't know you was extensive in knowing really what you talk about. I just think you was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, what is it? Man, think he know what he talking about. You know what I mean? But
man, you know what my prognosis is? I think
prognosis.
I think the best thing for your mental health is just to eat right, exercise, and take accountability for whatever you did, dog.
Man, dog. I take accountability for going AWOL. I take accountability. God damn, yes, I did it. I went AWOL because I wanted to be a comedian. I thought I was just that funny, and I don't need this military stuff. I did it. Yeah, I did it. Yeah. I went to jail for this.
That's the first step in just overall helping your mental health. That's what I told them folks. A lot of people battling demons because they don't realize that they was the part of their problem, not nobody else.
Yeah, I realized it. I knew what I was doing. They were like, well, why you go AWOL? I said, I'm trying to get out. I told you I want to leave.
Yeah.
I'm finna leave.
Once you sign that paper, you got to finish your commitment.
But when they tell you you're going to take emergency leave, you know what I'm saying? They were like something else, like summer leave. Man, I took weather leave on their ass.
What's that?
Shit, whether they gave it to me or not, shit, I left.
Damn. They're going to come get you. They used to tell us in Army, we will come find you.
They came try to look for me. But I went back.
Okay, so now in most serious news today, Kyron Lacey, who played for LSU, he was famous for, he was on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
And then, he had the accident where he fined the charge where he had the vehicular homicide. Man. And today he killed himself.
Did it because of the case or something like that?
You know, nobody. I mean, I'm sure there was the draft coming up in a couple weeks.
He just today. This happened today.
Yeah, today. So he had the draft coming. He was projected to go in the NFL draft. Then, but he had that charge on his back, so that was kind of probably stressing him out. And we don't know what else was going on in that kid head, man. So, but I just, I was seeing all the young kids who play football just posting it, and I was thinking, man, I hated that for them so much because I'm like, now they know that like I ain't gonna say it's an option, but I don't want them to see that as an option. Yeah. I hate it.
You can't do that. It's going on a lot now. It's been publicized more now.
Right.
If he wasn't who he was, it's like people not paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Almost. You know what I mean? So the more the celebrity of a person, dog, you know what I mean? It's almost like a double. I don't know if it's a double-edged sword or not, but the metaphor I'm trying to make is maybe God know what he's doing as far as the people that he be choosing for these things like that, man. Just like I just say about the helicopter crash. You say I relate to being in the military or whatever, but I really wanted to be like, yeah, it's a black man too, you know what I mean? But then I think about, well, ain't too many black men drive a helicopter that I be thinking, that fly a helicopter.
Yeah,
but then I'm looking like, wait a minute.
Pilots, yeah.
But then we think about a person passing away in the helicopter, and all I could think about is Kobe Bryant.
Right.
So is he supposed to get thought about less because he's not the main thing. The main purpose was the guy from Siemens, you know what I'm saying, being an executive, you know what I mean? Right. That's what everybody's paying attention to, you know what I mean? But I'm paying attention to them being looking like us too, dog, you know what I'm saying, and being that, dog, you know what I mean? Right. Just as I think of any rapper that get killed, I think of any person that gets killed, dog, you know what I'm saying?
They look
get that
like
same
us.
Respect. Yeah, we human, dog, you know what I'm saying? We human beings, man.
Could it, dang.
I don't know why I said that, but I'm just saying that, though.
And when we come to the subject of death, man, there's been a lot of death, people die every day, but it's been a lot of deaths that hit different, like, Scooter just passed.
Rest in peace, Scooter.
Rest in peace, Scooter. And it was like the way he died was so wrong. It don't seem right. Artery, like nobody seems right for everywhere. When you pass, everybody can just try to make sense of what happened. Really, you know what I mean? Right. I look at it, all the people even around. You know what I mean? We all experience it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right.
If you ain't the person that's in the casket, you're the person that's experiencing what happened to the person in the casket, man. You got the after effects of it, though.
I think death just reminds us all that we just still mortal. Like it bring you the ego back down just to remind you, like, man, this could be me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause we in our head we think we live forever. We want to. We want to live forever. We want to see our kids and grandkids and great grandkids.
Yeah.
But then when somebody dies so young or just die unexpected, you be like, damn, hold on now. Shit.
Yeah. When the first time you experienced somebody young like that, you think?
When I said, man,
I remember my cousin. Go ahead.
Nah, I think 6th grade, man, I had dropped some on my buddy's foot. So when he went to go get it checked out, he found out he had foot cancer. And then he died but he died in 6th grade.
What?
Yeah.
How long it been since he with the foot injury? You know what I'm saying? How long was it?
It was like, man, I dropped some on his foot, and he went to go get it checked out, and it was like the next school year. He like by that time he passed, but who
dropped on the foot?
I dropped on his foot. But now he had the foot cancer was from something else.
Oh boy, I'm about to say you get some up. Boy, I'm about to be like, hey, unmic me.
Hey,
take this microphone off me now.
Nah, but it was
got me in here with a mic. I'm sorry, cuz.
Man,
we had to do a background check, man.
Dang, man, I don't know.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? You do your day. You out of here.
Hey, but nah, that was my first time being young and experiencing somebody, die.
Man, I think I saw it because I used to be like I used to go to Chicago and Connecticut all the time, so I would see like you hear the shooting, you see the
like a little yummy type situation.
You see the coroners and everything.
Yeah,
back then it really looked like New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? The New York part version definitely, and the Chicago part still looked like Cooley High a little bit, really. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely thugged out, like the wood houses in the back, bro. Like
just ghetto,
man. Yeah, bro. I promise you, man. But the one that's when it hit home was my rest in peace to my cousin Poonie. You know what I'm saying? He may be like, I think they were maybe like 11, 12 maybe, you know what I'm saying? Him and my other cousin, you know what I'm saying? They had a little, they was playing with the weapon there, you know what I'm saying? And then the weapon discharged, you feel me? But when now remember now, I'm young now though, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? Everything going good. My auntie does say, hey, Chris, come here. Come here. I'm in the projects, dog. You know, we in the projects having a good little time. All the kids out there, it's hundreds if not thousands of people, bro. You know what I'm saying? She said, come here. I'm looking like, what? You know, because like, man, go see what mama want. I ran all the way over there like, what's up, auntie? She said, come here. Your mom didn't want to talk to you. And then she came in, I went in the house and talked to her, and she was like, hey, you know, your cousin passed away. I said, what? How? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So just to hear it like that.
How old are you?
Me, I'm like 13, 14.
Okay,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? And I said, damn. Maybe 15 then, you know what I'm saying? But maybe 14, I think, 14 maybe. But I was just like, damn. I'm sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when it's home, when it hit home, dog. You know what I'm saying? I guess I should say, you feel me? When it's actually your real family and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Your real friends like that, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's when it actually hit home. And you be like, damn. Well, what's going to happen when I leave here, dog? You know what I'm saying? That's when you really... I don't know about everybody else. Yeah. I know it's almost like when an older person...
to reflect.
Yeah, but it's almost... It's a different from reflecting between... Because you can see a lot of people like, hey, bro, I lost like 8 niggas. You know what I'm saying? But then like, well, hey, nigga, you drinking. You act like you got 8 more niggas out here, dog. You feel me? Right. But that older person that goes to that funeral, you know what I'm saying, of her friend, you know what I mean? And she's literally the only older person there, dog. You know what I'm saying? She's almost one of the last friends. That's when death almost hits to the point of...
Yeah, because you like, it's getting closer. It's up on me now.
Closer and everything. Yeah. People get to giving away stuff. You can read the richest people in the world gave away stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Up in Rochester, what's that man named? George Eastman that used to own like Polaroid or Kodak or something like that. One of those camera companies. I forget.
Did you go to the funeral?
Nah, I don't know him. I wasn't born there that time. You don't
know
my cousin?
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. Our family is always going to go to
How was your first funeral? Man, my first funeral was...
First funeral was, oh, man. Bruh, you know, the first funeral I think may have been not Jackie, Deborah's husband, the guy, he older guy. Mm-hmm. He married my cousins. Well, this was my cousin too. He married my cousin, but they were maybe in their 20s, had got the new house and everything. I think he may have drive trucks or something like that, or tractors or something like that. But he was working on car. He was working on the car in the front, and then the damn car fell on him, dog. The jack fell on him, dog. You know what I mean? Yes, definitely, dog. We went to the funeral for that right there. But I remember him, dog, and I'm like, man, they just started their life together, whatever, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember like 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that, probably then.
That's so traumatic. You remember it forever.
I remember all the funerals though, because you know now with us. You know, I don't mean to be weird. Am I being weird for remembering all the funerals? Like,
nah, funerals so traumatic. You can't.
Because it's different for me. Everybody else be in the church. I really be like, I be in the church. When you're in the church, you know how you can like, not necessarily see the people, dog, but you can just feel it, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just a regular crying, because you see somebody else crying and you almost feel that crying for them. You be like, I don't even know that person in that casket right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you can't deny spirituality in the church. If you deny spirituality in the church, can you deny spirituality in the world?
And at a funeral in church, you definitely can feel the spiritual. If you ain't spiritual, a funeral will humble you and remind you that it's something definitely out there, you know. Yeah,
especially our black folks here. We be in there singing. We get our people to that other side, I think, man. I think at every funeral, we actually be there. Because you know how I went AWOL to go to the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Bucci funeral. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, my cousin Bucci, man. I went to do his funeral.
That's a noble cause.
That's why I said, man, forget the military. I go AWOL for this right here.
Right.
Because these folks that raised me right here, you know what I'm saying? And when I say forget y'all, I'm going back to their house anyway, you know what I'm saying? I know his son. I'm with Bobo, Kim, Nikki, you know what I'm saying? We kicking in Chicago, you know?
Now, I remember my first funeral in Sugar Lock, Mississippi.
Sugar Lock, who was it?
My grandma. And I just remember the funeral was going good.
How old was you?
I was 18 to 19.
Yeah, I remember mine too, but go ahead.
But I just remember it because everything was going good until the dude got on the piano and played that da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, and where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, it went from everything being cool to everybody just started passing out. And God, it was just like, I was like, bro, I'm talking about, it was like, man, if he would have never got on that piano, we would have made it out of that church just fine. Whoever that piano player was in Mississippi that day, boy, you know you some
I've been
bullshit.
wondering if that's just a song in Mississippi or that's a song that everybody be playing.
But they're going up to yonder, man, that's a funeral classic right there.
They've been playing that since slavery times, though, dog.
Right. I'm spiritual about that song for sure. It definitely bring it about you. You play that going up to yonder on the way somewhere, boy, you gonna feel something.
That's when I went to my grandmama's funeral was in Prayer Point. Well, a little bit out of Prayer Point, old Memphis, Cedar Grove Church. You know what I'm saying? And that's the day they you know what they did? They hurried up my orders in the military. You feel me? They rushed my orders. I had a week early. You know what I'm saying? About 10 days early. Remember they supposed to give us leave after we get out of the A school or whatever. I didn't get my leave after boot camp. You feel me? And my grandmama had passed away, so I had just graduated from the A school. You know how people throw up their hats? You know how you get to throw up your hats and shit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But threw up their hats. I'm running already through the hats. Everybody else hats falling on me already.
Oh, you was gone. You was out mentally checked out.
I'm going to the house. I'm going to the barracks, you know what I'm saying, to call my grandmama just to be like, hey, grandmama, I finished the schooling, you know what I'm saying, even though it wasn't college, you know what I'm saying, this my electrical, you know what I'm saying, certificate, you know what I'm saying, so I'm finna just tell her, like, you know, older folks, they see a diploma already.
They just have you doing something positive.
Yeah, but plus, I told her, she said, you want to go to the military? I said, nah, grandma. And she said, why? I was like, I don't want it. I'm gonna end up just leaving, going AWOL. And she said, well, before you do this, just finish the schooling then. Can you finish the schooling for me? I said, yeah, I can do it for me. You gonna do it for me? Yeah. You know when we make that promise to our grandma, we definitely gonna do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing for sure, bro. So when I went to the phone, you know what I'm saying, to call her, I called her house. My cousin was at the house. This is my she like 2 years older than me, 1 year older than me. And I was like, what's going on? I'm thinking you in college. I said, what you doing at the house, girl? She was like, man, I had to come down to the house. And I was like, oh, okay, well, look, I'm coming to the house too. You know what I'm saying? Where Granny at? She said, well, you got to come to the house. I said, why I got to come to the house? And she said, Grandma passed, Chris. I said, man.
Then while you in basic too, sheesh.
Man, dog, I remember, dog. And I was just like, damn, man. You know what I'm saying? I think I was almost screaming, man. And my homeboy from Arkansas, my boy Bell, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, you good, Smoke? You know what I'm saying? I said, man, my grandma passed, man. So he knew that I talk about my grandmama, dog. And that man, he gave me a hug, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was like, it's good, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I remember, dog, you know what I mean? But ever since then, I was just like, yeah, I'm finna get up out of here, dog. You know what I mean? That's when the checking out right there. You know what I'm saying? All right, bet.
Like a 12th grader in high school.
I said, all right. Yeah. And then right after that, I went to I'm right in the Navy then. Like I say, I go right to Spain. I went right on the med cruise. I went to the med cruise the next day that I'm on the ship, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when we go on this cruise, mean mugging motherfucker. Really, I was just wanting to fight anyway, really, probably. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of animosity because you on the ship still, but it's still like jail. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if people be thinking like, you on the ship still, it ain't like no, you get whooped still. You know what I'm saying? It's fights on there, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. But just being around other grown men, man, and seeing people leave from their family, that's when the disconnect, I think, came from the family, I guess, dog. You know what I'm saying? Right then, I was just like, all right, I can't be affording to be lacking like this, dog. You know what I'm saying? Forget it, dog. You know what I mean? Right. I'll just see everybody when I get back or whatever. I checked out the whole 6-month cruise, dog. I know. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't really care about even... I wasn't worried about coming back here. I'm just like, all right, I'm just out into the world, dog. You know what I mean? The whole time looking at everybody else right home, hid from their people, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That's crazy, man.
Now the military definitely do something to you. It's definitely different. It ain't a regular experience in no way, shape, or form. You definitely don't leave the same way you went in. But that's a topic for another conversation. We go all day about that military life. But Smoke, what you got coming up, man? Tell the folks what you got coming up.
Man, set it off. Really, I just got a couple of things going on. I got this big show coming on down in Tuscaloosa. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a big show down there for the Q Dogs. You know what I mean? It's my first little
for the Greeks.
For the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? Some Qs down there, you know what I'm saying? They got golfers down there. It's a big SEC thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a big show down there, you feel me? You know what I mean? Because Steve Brown, comedian LP, you know what I'm saying? I think comedian JJ. It's going to be a lot of folks down there, man. We're going to be doing our thing down there, you know? And other than that, I do stand-up comedy everywhere fluently, but I just wanted to put one little big show on it. Other than that, going back on the road with my dog, Carlos Miller, we hitting these shows up everywhere, hitting up the stages, theaters, auditoriums, comedy clubs, pool halls,
Yes, sir.
union stations,
Yes, sir.
martyr stations, bathrooms, everywhere
Anywhere
anywhere
you-
they got the money, we're gonna perform.
Anywhere you can perform.
Yeah, that's what
You
it
like
is.
Young LA.
Man, ain't I?
Ain't I?
Ain't
Don't
I?
I be? Well,
Ain't I back out here?
Hey, man. Hey, he the truth that anybody can come back. Anybody can come back.
Man.
Hey, man. God is good. God is good. Well,
They ain't doing no
that's gonna
remaking
be
stuff,
it, man.
everything.
That's the greatest show will come back.
Just what about you? What you got coming up? Hold on.
Man, you know me, man. I've just been in the gym working out with the, just doing
still
my
in the
thing.
boxing?
I'm in the boxing. I'm gonna
This
be
man had
hope.
blood on the gloves out there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if it was his blood or what. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if he was in the car trying to hit himself or what, but I heard it's somebody else. We're going to do a DNA test on it. We got the little kit out there. You know what I'm saying?
But definitely, man. But we'll be back, man, with another episode. And Chris, till the next time, my brother.
Set it off. Hey, man. You know I told you about my grandma's baby shower. We've been there, that, but now I got to set up another baby shower.
Okay.
This for my uncle.
What your uncle got going on?
got pregnant. This is a whole other thing, though. We'll talk about it, bro. It's too deep for everybody else, man.
All right, that's it. We gone. All right.
Set it off.